see, a long time ago. When I was in college, I started as a fine arts major, and then I shifted over to English. But I was always fascinated by the combination of language and visuals. And so when I graduated, I felt qualified to do absolutely nothing. But I loved school, and I loved thinking. I love all that analysis, and I started to think about the skill set that I had and what I would need to do in a profession that would make me happy. I was thinking about law because I'm very persuasive, but I realized I like to laugh a lot, and I like things to be very, very fast-paced. So I grew up in New Jersey, and New York City was our city, so that was always, to me, the big city. I went to college in Philadelphia, so I would visit New York and say I'm going to the city, and people would look at me oddly. So I knew I wanted to be in New York City, so I put all those things together, and I started interviewing at advertising agencies, kind of just info sessions, not really for jobs, but saying what happens here. And when I landed among the creative people, that seemed to be the best synergy of those two things. So at night I went and started to develop a portfolio. My first job actually was as a secretary in the TV production department. And a lot of people said, but you want to go into creative, why are you going into the production department? And I said, well, first of all, I'm going in as a secretary. I feel qualified to do absolutely nothing. And I've always said you have to be in it to be in it. And so I was a secretary for a few months. They promoted me pretty soon because I was very engaged and active to assistant producer, and then I became a full producer. Still had the love of wanting to create the ideas rather than just produce them, and kept badgering the people in the creative department who looked at my book and demoted me to junior copywriter. So they took away my window office, and I went into a small little cubby. But that was fine by me because that was in the path that I really wanted to end up going into, and then ultimately just kind of those skills that I learned, actually, nothing is wasted. The skills that I learned as a producer made me immediately get assigned TV projects, which it usually takes a long time for a junior to get those types of projects. So I moved up very quickly and was able to just navigate in the system, and I started at Cunningham and Walsh, which doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
I moved on to NWA, which is the first advertising agency in America. That doesn't exist anymore. And then and then I moved on to a couple of other agencies, ultimately becoming creative director at Dentsu.
Wow.
So that's what I did before I went freelance and then started in academics.
Wow.